You are
Says the
live.
stream is live.
All right. Okay. So now I'm on my other screen. I'll open up the actual stream.
Is it recording or not?
It should be because this integrates with YouTube. Okay, we are live on YouTube. Okay, we are live on YouTube. It should be recording on YouTube's end. So it records on YouTube.
Awesome.
Right.
Do
We
we
are
see the
live.
amount of people here as well? Yeah, I see
Six,
there's six
six
people.
people. All right. So I just got to change my settings, guys, so I can see the live chat.
Hello, everyone. Please let us know where are you coming from.
Hey,
You are.
Warren, the Kwashnaks. Hey, bro.
What's up?
Good to speak with you again.
So Jake
What's
is in
good?
KL, right? I'm in Cordoba, Argentina. We're 10 time zones away from each other. 7 a.m. here.
Yeah, 7 a.m. for you. Early. Okay. Oh, yes. And then the chat's coming through. Hey, Beck. I'm just making sure the technicalities are set up, but I think we're good now. Hello from Queensland. Whereabouts in Queensland are you again? Which city?
South Park, Colorado. Is it Colorado?
Oh, Colorado. Yeah. We had a
Nice.
call. Warren and I had a call probably 6 months ago, right? Before you came to Southeast Asia.
Top 5 state in the US, I say. Beautiful, beautiful state.
Nature, right?
Yeah. Toowoomba. Never been there, but I've been to Queensland. Also a really nice place there.
I haven't been to Toowoomba. I'd like to go.
There's some really funny names in Australia, like Toowoomba. Like, what is that? I remember in Sydney, there was like this area, maybe I even told you, Wooloo Manga. Like,
Woolloomooloo? Not
even longer.
Woolloomooloo.
Just super funny.
Yeah, they're based on the original Aboriginal names. So
makes sense. Yeah, I was wondering where they're coming from. I was guessing it comes from that. What's up, Aziz?
Aziz. Oh, so Aziz is from the tribe. So we met yesterday. Yesterday, right? Yeah, time goes very fast. So thanks for joining, bro. Good to see you yesterday, and we're going to talk more about the Nomad topics here with David, and obviously Malaysia as well. So guys, just to set the live stream for everyone who's joined so far, we got 12 people. So this is my first live stream on the channel. I wanted to do one when I hit 10,000 subscribers, but it never happened. So here we are at 30,000 subscribers, which is absolutely phenomenal. I'm very grateful for everyone who watches any of my videos, who joins any of the premieres, and whoever supports me in any way. But really, as you know, it's about me supporting you. So I make these videos for the viewer. It's not for me. I mean, some are fun, but it's actually to help you guys. So I want to do more live streams personally, so we can actually have a chat, have some real-time communication, because I can't keep up with the comments. There's thousands of comments. I just can't do it. And I'd love to help more of you as well and interact. So that's what this live stream is for. We're going to be live for the next up to the next hour. We'll see how we go. I'll answer all your questions. And then obviously to introduce David here. So David Salah, my good mate, digital nomad. He's also got a YouTube channel, and he's working on the digital nomad tribe with me together. So I thought we'd bring him on the stream as well, so he can give his insights. He's also been to Malaysia. Maybe David, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, it's good to be here. And as you said, like, you're putting out a lot of value. So yeah, I'm really happy to see that this is finally coming, and been a fan of yours for a while as well. But yeah, it's cool to do this. I'm from the Czech Republic, from Prague. I hope all of you guys know where that is. Yeah, I've been traveling for a few years. I went to study in the US, and then I had a chance to get a job or go get a PhD at a good school, but I decided not to. Just decided to travel, and yeah, here we are 44 countries later, still traveling, still enjoying the world, trying to learn as much as I can, meeting cool people. And yeah, now we're building the tribe, which has been really exciting, trying to build an online community, but also taking it offline. Jack and a few other guys met yesterday live in KL. We're planning a meetup / retreat in Prague, then another one in hopefully Sarawak, South America. So yeah, we got a lot of exciting things. I'm excited to be here to talk about some Nomad topics, talk about Southeast Asia, talk about Malaysia. Just made a video recently that went pretty nicely. So yeah, happy to talk about one of my favorite countries and one of the most underrated countries in Asia, Malaysia. I got some hate for that as well, but no, mostly it was positive interactions. I think Malaysia is a great country. I think you chose really well when you moved out of Australia. So yeah, nice to be here.
Awesome. Good intro, David. Thank you. And you touched on some good points there. Yeah, so no specific agenda for this call, but very interesting what you said there about the underrated comment and people's different opinions. So I'll just start talking about that. There's a bit of a change I'm seeing in Malaysia in terms of attitudes towards foreigners and tourists, which is very, very interesting, given that this year is Visit Malaysia 2026. Malaysia is pushing tourism very, very hard. And I think some locals, like a lot of countries in Europe, right? I know like in Spain and Portugal, they sort of pushing back a little bit about tourism. I don't personally get it, but if they see it getting busier and pushing up prices, and interestingly, they want to stay a bit of a secret. So it's interesting. It's interesting what's going on, and I think that's where some of the comments come from. There's also this meme lately that this is AI. Anything about Malaysia is AI, because people are leaning into the fact that people think Malaysia is very underdeveloped and people live in trees, and if you show off big buildings, then it's fake. So they're playing into that stereotype, but it's not true. It's gone so far past that. I think the world knows Malaysia is a developed country. It's certainly come a long way in the last few years, and it's on the right track. Why we say it's underrated is because a lot of, particularly Western countries, don't know about the culture, don't know much about Malaysia as a tourism destination, don't know much about the food, which David and I both agree on. The food is quite excellent. So that's sort of the angle we're coming from. And certainly both of us only have positive intentions to promote the country and the people. And at the end of the day, share our authentic experience. That's what I do. I share my authentic experience. If someone likes it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. So that's my thoughts on that. Comment here from Grandpa Build. What do you think of long-term stay in KL? I think long-term stay in KL is fantastic if you're in a position to do it. It depends, need more information. But for me, I've been here 4 years, and long-term stay in KL was absolutely fantastic. So that's my experience. David, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree everything that you said about Malaysia. Yeah, I was surprised when people were commenting like, "This is AI, this is AI." I was wondering what that is. No, I found it meme. But yeah, no, I think there are some countries that are really nice to maybe live in for a few months, but longer term, you're not gonna feel, I think, that great, because maybe the culture isn't really gonna take you in. You're not gonna feel welcome. But I feel like that's not the case in Malaysia. I feel like the culture is very diverse and welcoming, at least from my own experience. Like, I really haven't had any bad experiences. Also, the English really helps, that everyone can speak good English. And I mean, KL, of course, is amazing, but there is so much more in Malaysia. So I feel like it's not going to be boring. If you want to, you can go to Singapore, you can go to other places. Yes, Malaysia is a lot bigger than KL, that's right. So yeah, I mean, there is, I think, a lot. I could definitely see, yeah, myself living there for longer periods of time. I think the people that are there, I think, yeah, those are really good choices. A lot of people from Australia are moving to Malaysia, I think, for some good reason. So yeah, I think it's one of those top 5, top 10 places to live longer term.
Thanks, David. A lot of comments here. Warren, yes, Australia isn't real. I've heard the one that New Zealand isn't real. It's not on the map. There's a whole conspiracy subreddit thing that New Zealand isn't real. But I've been to New Zealand. David's been to New Zealand, and it's definitely real. Don't worry about that. Beck, Malaysia is amazing. We're coming again later this year for our 4th trip in 2 years. Right. There you go. So people keep coming back for a reason. We've been to another neighboring country as well. We really like that country, but love Malaysia more. I'm very interested what that country is. Could be Thailand, could be Singapore, Indonesia. I think they're all good in different ways. It's not, that's why people go this or that. Is, you know, you can do both, right? Like, it doesn't have to be one or the other. But Malaysia is, I think, just people lump it into Southeast Asia and these other countries when it's actually quite different in a lot of ways. Question here: do you think we need a car in KL? It depends where you live. So my advice, my recommendation is always live on the MRT line, or like the MRT line for the infrastructure. So I've never had a car in 4 years. I've never had a car, but my ex-girlfriend did have a car, and the girl I'm seeing now also has a car. So you can get around it, but you can use Grab. Do you need a car? No, I don't think you need a car
The
because
traffic
I
is
haven't
pretty
had it.
bad, right? Like you don't really want to drive, especially in rush hour in the city. Like, I mean, it's
No,
not like crazy, crazy, but it is pretty crazy. And I feel like you're gonna spend a lot of time, especially in the rush hour. So like, if you need to go outside of the city, like for a trip, you can just rent a car for a weekend. But I feel
100%.
like
That's what
owning a
we do.
car is not really necessary in KL.
Yep. Agree, David. Yep. A lot of comments here. Got to keep up with it. So
Yeah, let's
I
go.
was laughing at this one. He goes, "Hey, you're going to get cooked soon." Nice content.
So
Yeah,
that
you're
as
right. I was
well.
just talking to David about that. I just posted a viral reel challenging Malaysians to race me at KLCC Park. They've taken up the challenge, and safe to say, I will be getting cooked like a
Is it
well
only
done
for
steak.
Malaysians, or is it open
Uh,
to
I,
everyone?
I called out no, I called out Malaysians, but
Okay, then I
it's
can
not going to
fly
matter.
and beat you.
It's not going to matter. I'm going to be getting beat well. So watch for the video on Saturday. I'll try and make some content out of it, but I'm definitely going to lose. Don't worry, guys. I don't have that bigger ego. Next comment: Malaysia is a lot bigger than KL. If you prefer slow, pick Ipoh. That's a city full of retired folks taking it slow. Absolutely. So yeah, David and I did a trip to Cameron Highlands, which is in Perak, closer to Ipoh. Certainly a lot quieter. And yeah, KL is not for everyone. For me, I think someone younger, it's great. And maybe if you're raising a family, but if you're looking to retire, a lot of Aussies love Penang because it's got beaches. It's an island. Langkawi is pretty cool. And then, quite frankly, I've been to Kuching a few times now, and I really like it. So East Malaysia also has a lot of different options and very different culturally to West Malaysia and KL. So a lot of options in Malaysia, and then of course the proximity to surrounding Southeast Asian countries and being able to travel. So again, a lot of comments here.
Yeah, next one.
So what Warren
What?
said, he didn't really feel a true connection with the Malaysian people until he got out of KL. So that's a good point. Yeah, that's a very good point. And he did do some exploring, and I know he had some good experiences, some bad experiences. But in terms of true connection, yeah, that's absolutely true. Because when you're in a big city, it's easy to be caught up in just big city life. And frankly, I do mostly my own thing anyway. But when you get out of the city, you have to interact with locals, and you really develop that cool experiences. David, did you have any memorable experiences in Malaysia outside of the city?
Many. We had a trip to Cameron Highlands, and I'm sure if I go there again and visit the non-KL places, there's going to be plenty. But I think this is in general a good travel tip. That usually, I mean, of course, the capital gives you a lot, but if you really want to get the culture, like go outside the capital, go to the smaller cities, go to the villages, because that's really going to show you how the locals live. You're barely going to meet any tourists. I did that in Central Asia, for example, in Kazakhstan. Everyone that goes there goes to Astana, Almaty, the biggest cities. But I went to the small villages, took a train, and is pretty much the only one there. And it was a great experience because it just shows you how the locals live. And yeah, in Malaysia, I think it's the same. You had that cool experience. You went to some villages, and you were telling me like how nice it was. Yeah, I think these are just really good experiences to get to know the local life, because yeah, like KL has a lot of positive things, but you're not gonna probably feel that much of the homey vibe there, which I think if you go to the village or to some other cities, you will. What's the benefit to learning Malay? Where would you use it? Have you learned any Malay, Jack? I heard it's a
Interesting.
pretty, it's not a hard language, right? Or that
Oh,
was Indonesian. No,
guys,
it is a hard
every
language.
every language is hard for me. So I'm terrible at languages. I admit that every language is tough. But no, I would say Malay.
Say hi in
Honestly,
Malay.
Malay is Malay is terima kasih. Malay is one of the easiest languages to learn. It is quite easy because you pronounce it just like you see it. It's very similar to
Mhm.
Indonesian. It's both bahasa, very similar. Do you need to know it? Again, my experience, no, you don't. I get by fine, 100% okay without knowing pretty much any Malay. So you don't need to know it. If you're going to be here long term, I'd encourage you to learn it. I mean, sure, it's going to help you integrate with local culture and learn, but it's not like some other countries like Thailand or Vietnam. I would strongly recommend you learn some, conversational Thai or Vietnamese. In Malaysia, not necessary to know conversational Malay,
Yeah, I mean,
to
it's
be honest.
useful to know, like, to get closer with the culture. But yeah, I think Malaysia is specific that really a lot of people can speak English. But I feel like in other countries, like for example here I'm in South America, like you really need to know Spanish. With English and
Yeah.
stuff, you can get scammed quite a lot. So yeah, like Malaysia is specific, but of course, like it's gonna help if you can speak Malay. What else do we have?
I'm just promoting this on the Instagram story, guys.
Yeah.
Get some more people in here.
Oh, there's more comments. I didn't scroll. Hello from Singapore. Greetings to Singapore. Beautiful country. Hello from Paris. It's gray and unsafe here. Yeah, well, I know how the Europe is. So I'm from Prague, Czech Republic. Yeah, our winters are pretty rough, so I can definitely relate to that. If you live in KL, doesn't need when everywhere gonna be jam. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, with the car. I mean, when we were driving,
Yeah,
what day was it? Saturday. We didn't have like a massive jam, but already the traffic was pretty heavy. We had that my motorcycle driver showed middle finger to me when I honked at him. That's a funny story I shared. So
yes,
it
you've
can
told
get
us.
funny on the road.
Yeah. Question here is Durantale visa good to start with, then upgrade to MM2H after the 2-year period? The best way to start, depending on your passport, is just to visit as a tourist. Get your 90 days, get your feet on the ground, and then if you want to commit to something longer, then Durantale or the digital nomad visa it's a good option if that's for you. If you want to be in Malaysia 90% of the time, then you're going to need a proper visa, and that's obviously a good one to get started. MM2H it is a commitment. It's a very real commitment. I work specifically with the Sarawak MM2H, so the SMM2H, which has lower requirements. So if you're over 30, you don't need to buy property in SMM2H. So if you need help with that, just send me an email. But I think that's probably the easiest and best way in 2026. All right, that's what I'm told. So that's what we're see people go for. You can also set up a Labuan company as well, which is like a special economic zone off the coast of Borneo. But it depends if you're a business owner, if you've got assets. So it's a bit more complicated than just giving a simple answer. But yes, digital nomad visa, good way to start for you and your family. You can have dependents, and then you can make a longer term decision from there. Beck says the trains in Malaysia are excellent. There you go. They are. Their efficiency is very underrated. We love the trains and the monorail. You can get anywhere in the main part of KL, even the larger suburban part of KL, on the trains. You just got to plan a little bit. That's why I want to live on the one MRT line so I can just zip around to an exchange and go wherever I need to go. Not everywhere. Not everyone is that lucky. I get it. I know. But if you have a choice, then make a choice dependent on that. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting in traffic. Ahmed, fellow Sydney sider here. G'day, mate. Love your honesty and insights. I was very interested in retiring to Putrajaya. I still can't pronounce that properly after all these years. Putrajaya, it just doesn't come off the tongue well. It's great. It's great. It's cheaper, and it's very, very quiet. And then it's a much more Malay and Muslim. So not assuming, but your name, you might be Muslim. So you might absolutely love that area. I would definitely recommend it as a retiree spot. Yes, it's cheaper. And again, you've got the MRT line, the yellow line that goes right into the city. So I think that would be absolutely, fantastic spot. Beck says, people often say KL is unwalkable. I disagree to a certain extent. Okay, but I did another viral reel recently about walking in KL. I think it's pretty walkable, but I absolutely get the point that it is less walkable than a European city, for example, because it is certainly less walkable. But it's easier to walk around than some people think. Yeah, I mean, once you get used to certain routes, there's a lot of parks, and you just plan a little bit. It is walkable, and the heat, I get it. It gets hot, sweaty, but I like it. Weather's a whole other topic, but it's my opinion. Warren says, stay away from Bukit Bintang, belly of the beast. As Daryl would say, shady characters. If you got a drink, find a local friend. It'll be classy on the rooftops. Yeah, so Bukit Bintang, for guys who are interested in KL in Malaysia, you got to go there. You got to go there, but it is it's the tourist spot in any city. So David, tell us more. You've been to more cities than me, but I mean, most cities are going to have like this nightlife spot, and you're going to get, or the tourist spot. I just came back from Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City. You got District 1, and yes, you got that walking street. Thailand, obviously the same. I assume Europe, similar. So if you go to those places, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. Nothing more to add. Just always be mindful of where you go, what you do, what you can expect. Yeah, you can't expect to get, I don't know, anything like local in those places. You can get scammed. It can get potentially like a little iffy, a little strange. But yeah, I mean, yeah, just be mindful of what you do and where you're going. Curious, do we have any digital nomads here? No, we have a lot of Australians, a lot of Malaysians. Anyone that's been a nomad, they can let us know in the comments.
Yeah, good question. Would you consider yourself a nomad? Because I think it's something I want to focus on this year, obviously, and David and I are going to talk about our plans. But Malaysia is just a great spot for digital nomads and travelers through Southeast Asia, through the rest of the world. Malaysia, Singapore connects to Europe, the Middle East, pretty much everywhere. So certainly as a base. So I'm not just saying you guys should come live in Malaysia full time. I mean, not necessarily, but for a few months of the year, say you're in Australia and it's winter time, we'll come to Malaysia for a few months on your way to Europe. Could be a great move. And on the nomad angle, things are changing, right? A lot of you guys are going to have remote work or businesses. You don't need to be in one spot anymore. I've met families who are traveling the world. It's becoming more and more doable. I mean, maybe not right now. It might be a bit tough, but in general, the trend is towards remote work and moving more. So if there's any nomads here, David's the expert. So ask any questions you have.
Yeah, let us know. You're right. I think the trend is only going to be growing. People see the opportunity. I mean, there's already, I don't know how many millions of people that have online jobs. The number of nomads has been growing like by hundreds of percent. Yeah, I mean, there's the opportunities. There's also a lot of downsides with like all of this in 2026, but also a lot of upsides. We can either choose to focus on the negatives or on the positives. But yeah, I mean, like my parents, for example, 40 years ago, like they couldn't travel to the west side of the Czech Republic because we had the Iron Curtain, like between the US and Russia. So it's crazy to me that I can just, I don't really need a visa to many countries and I can just go, which also that's a great privilege to have. That I know that a lot of countries do not have that. I have a lot of friends from different countries, got a friend from Uzbekistan, a friend from Egypt, and they need visas to almost every country. So like all of these are things that, yeah, especially if you come from the Western country, it's very, very good. Also, I mean, a lot of other countries have these options, but yeah, also a lot of don't. So just being grateful and aware of that.
Yeah, good insights. Important one here about the threshold for foreign workers. It's not 40K USD. So I just want to just address this one because it's important information. So it's doubled, but the EP category 1, which is the top category, which is what I had, the minimum used to be 10,000 ringgit a month, 10,000 ringgit a month. Now it's 20,000 ringgit a month, which is actually very reasonable, and that is a correct update for a modern wage. I believe that's correct. But there's different EP categories. There's EP category 2 and 3. So the minimum amount is 5,000 ringgit a month. So I don't think it's going to affect anything, to be honest. I don't think it's going to make it any harder. I think it's just an update for inflation and modern salaries. I think it's very reasonable. It's not 40K USD, so I don't know where you heard that. That's just incorrect. Aziz, who's done this, says 90 days for tourism, Durantal for 2 years, MTEP, entrepreneur program for as many as possible, MM2H. Good insights. Yep, I agree with that. I don't know too much about the tech entrepreneur program, so I can speak to Aziz some more, find some more information, and hook you guys up if that's something that would work. So thanks for that, mate. Shafiq, amazing. I've got to join one of your events. I do have to join one event. I know we've had a lot of back and forth, and I'm a busy man, but appreciate you watching all my stuff, and I'd love to join and travel around with you because you're the local expert. Guys, that's another thing. You come to Malaysia or you travel anywhere, like wherever you're traveling. Connect with locals. Like they want to connect with you, whether it's posting on social media, getting a DM or whatever. Find some locals. David, what do you think the best way is to connect with locals and see different areas when you arrive?
Yeah, good and important question. And I think this can really make a big difference in your experience. I don't know how popular it's in Malaysia, but I'm sure it's there. Couchsurfing, you can just reach out to people there. Then there's and maybe Airbnb also. If you stay with an Airbnb, maybe the host can show you around. And then just on social media, you can do a lot. There's some specific apps where you can connect with other travelers, but maybe like you have LinkedIn, you have Instagram, or if you're single, maybe you can use the dating apps where you can connect with a local, and then you can go on a date and also get a tour of the city. But yeah, there's a lot of ways how to connect with the local, or just saying hi, just going to the place, going somewhere and saying hi, learning a few words in the language. So like hi, how are you? And then maybe going to English, but speaking a little bit in the local language and just being open. And then usually I have found that if I'm nice, if I'm respectful, then usually some really good things happen. So yeah, and then it can make your experience so much better, because if a local shows you their place, or like for example, if you meet someone in KL that's from a city, from a different city or from a village, and they take you there, show you around. I mean, that's unforgettable experience because they know all the spots, they know all the places. Google or ChatGPT is only going to tell you a certain amount of non-touristy places. So yeah, it's really nice to know a local, and I strongly encourage everyone to do that. Like some of my best experiences of traveling have come exactly from saying hi or from connecting before with people, and just the best. You get to know the culture.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. And I've got more confident with that lately as well. Just go solo. Like I had an amazing experience recently in Vietnam. Just 3 weeks by myself. Absolutely loved it. It was so good. It was so good. Question from Ahmed. Sarawak MM2H, can you live in West Malaysia if you meet the minimum stay requirement in Sarawak? Yes. Yes, that's why it's better, because you don't have to buy a property and you can also live in West Malaysia or rent wherever you want. You just got to meet the minimum stay in Sarawak, which is, I believe, 30 days, which is not too significant. And only the main holders of dependents, I believe, don't even have to meet that either. So just double check that and we can help you out. I can connect you with the lawyer if you want to discuss that more, but just to answer that question. Warren, working on Digital Nomad, working with a plan to go to Cambodia as home base. Love Malaysia. I'll be back to KL every so often. Awesome. Yeah, I watched some of your vlogs in Cambodia. David's been to Cambodia. I haven't. What did you think of Cambodia?
I loved it. I mean, it was a really strong experience for me. So I had a friend. I was staying with a local in the suburb of Phnom Penh, the capital. I was coming from the winter in Europe to 40 degrees in Malaysia, humidity, no AC. So it was tough at the beginning from this point of view, but it was amazing. I got to learn so much about the culture, and yeah, it was honestly crazy to see that the difference in wealth and poverty like was really big contrast compared to what I knew. So it really made me think and go really deep and philosophical. But amazing people, such nice people, great food, some really nice nature. The Angkor Wat was epic. Yeah, Cambodia was like, when I look at all the countries I've been to, it has taught me like the most, or top three countries that it has taught
Wow.
me the most. Definitely recommend.
Amazing. Well, that was on my bucket list for this year. Still got to hit Japan and Cambodia. Those are the two major countries on my list for Asia. I'm going to try and do it. So that's a good supporting comments there from both of you. Interesting one here. Is Singapore a good base for digital nomads? As it is home to many companies and startups, is that a bonus point? So I know we have a member, Francois, in our digital nomad tribe who moved from France to Singapore. He's having a great time. He's super excited about it. And he's disappeared for a bit. He must be having such a good time in Singapore.
Yeah.
But yeah, so awesome to see that. And to be honest, to be frank, like the why I love this question is, if I had to pick one city, number one city for me, in my experience, I'd pick Singapore. Singapore is one of the it's one of the best cities I've been to, but it has a big trade-off, which is the cost. So it all comes back to the relativity of the affordability. So KL, Singapore, similar cultures. Singapore is better in a lot of ways. I know some of you might not like to hear that, but it is. But it costs a lot more. It costs a lot more. So if you're trying to be a nomad, if you're trying to get set up there, it is more difficult. But if you're earning good money, it's a trade-off. If you're earning good money, it could be fantastic. But then again, if you're earning good money, you could be in KL and get even more for your money. So it's all a value decision based on you. But yes, I think Singapore is absolutely excellent. If you've got a tech job, finance job, it's the way to go. If I was to go back to work for a company again, guys, it's been 9 months since I left my job. Maybe you want to ask me some questions about that. But if I was to get another job again, I'd probably get it in, I'd probably go for Singapore, maybe China, or obviously back in Australia, because the job I jagged here in KL was probably the exception, and it'd be unlikely to get one like that again, but it is possible. What do we got next? Lydia says hello.
Just going to add on this. Yeah, I agree with you. And I think important thing just to always know your priorities. And knowing what you want and your resources. So for example, if you really want a good job, then maybe Singapore is a good place to go. If you want safety, if you want comforts, maybe then you can go there as well. Or I mean, you can go KL, just doesn't really matter. You first need to set your priorities, whether it's weather, safety, comfort, or whatever that is, and then based on that you choose the destination. There's no right or wrong answer. There's only right or wrong answer for you. So that's one thing that I've been thinking about recently a lot, like where I want to travel, and more importantly, where I want to live one day and set up a base. And I think it just comes down to the priorities. And then maybe the weather is not going to be great, but I grew up in shit weather, so it doesn't really matter for me. I think for Jack it's more important. So just knowing the priorities and then making a conscious decision based on that, that's the right decision.
100%. And then long-term base versus short-term base. That's the beauty of the Nomad thing. You can follow the weather. You can go where it makes sense for you in each part of the year. And then a long-term base, yes, you're gonna have to make sacrifices no matter where you are. Lydia, I remember you from Sarawak Club. Thank you for saying hello and following me and supporting the stuff. And Ahmed, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's I don't know what to say. That's fantastic. I got to do more live streams. We're going to do more live streams.
Awesome,
thank you so much. If you need any more help, send me an email or find contact with me, and I'll answer any more of your questions and help out as much as I can. I really appreciate that. I'm sure. Yeah, I'll share it with David. I'll get him a beer when I see him. Amazing. Wow. Thank you, Ahmed. That's fantastic. Turkey. There's a hello from Turkey, which is an interesting country, interesting place. One of the guys I knew from Sydney, friends with my other mate David. You might have seen that. There was another David on my channel, and then his mate who played soccer with was this guy who wanted to get out of Australia, and then he's ended up settling in Turkey. So, David, have you been to Turkey?
Yes, and I think it's an amazing country. It's super cultural. It's on the verge of between Europe and Asia. Istanbul, I think, is one of the greatest cities in the world. Such a jewel there, and just outside Istanbul as well. So much there to see. Very interesting, also historically. Food, amazing. Culture, amazing. I think Turkey is amazing. Greetings back to Turkey. Definitely would like to be back. What do we got next?
Good question here. In Malaysia, how easy is it for expats to buy property? It is easy. I mean, there's not that many limits on it, other than the minimum amount, which is going to depend on the state and the city. So in Kuala Lumpur, it's 1 million ringgit. In other states, it can be as low as 500,000 ringgit. Other than that, so the mistake there would be buying properties that are marked up to meet that minimum requirement. But if you do research around what the market price is, you just do some basic research into what you're buying, then it's very easy. And I've got all the contacts for that. So if you want to speak to agents, if you want to speak to lawyers, send me an email. We can help you do that with trusted people that I've vetted. So no worries with that. And will the price go up? So that's very different to the Australian market or a lot of Western countries where people are just expect capital gains. It's not the case. The supply-demand dynamics are very different in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and frankly, most of Asia. It's very different. Like in Japan, you'll see prices just going through the floor. They're just giving houses away because people don't want them. But yeah, lots of buildings are being built here. So no, to be frank, I wouldn't expect significant capital gains. If any, my non-professional tip would be buy somewhere on the MRT line or the upcoming new MRT line. Again, MRT line is the best thing in KL because it's infrastructure. It avoids the biggest problem, which is the traffic. And then your final question is, can you keep cats in property rental or own one? Well, if you own it, you're the boss. You can do what you want. You can do what you want. And then for rentals, I would say it's majority of places, yes, because Malaysia is very cat friendly. Dogs less so, dogs much less so, but cats, most places will let you have a cat. You speak to the owner, you negotiate. I'm sure you can find a rental that will let you have a cat. The previous place I lived at, we had 2 cats and it was great. No problem with the cats, except the hair, and then you got to clean, but no problem. What visas are you guys on in Malaysia? Good question. So I was on the EP, so the employment pass, for about 3.5 years. So I was working here. But you need to know if you go that route, the visa is tied to your employment. So if you leave the job, you lose the visa, which is why when I left my job, my visa ran out in September last year. That's when I went back to Australia. That's when I filmed that video of why I quit my job when I was back in Australia for that trip. Then I've come back to Malaysia on the tourist visa, which is 90 days. And then I'm assessing my options. So maybe I go for the digital nomad visa, but it looks like I'm going to be traveling a lot more. So it's not too much of a problem to do the tourist visa. And then David, same, when he visited Malaysia, quite simple to just do the tourist visa. David, does your passport let you do the e-gate? Do you remember, did you just come through or did you have to go see the person?
I have to see the person, yeah, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'm not in Malaysia now. I'm in Argentina, but yeah, when I was there, yeah, tourist visa, I didn't really have a problem.
Awesome. I love KL.
That's so funny. Wednesday market. That's fine though. Like, yeah, because sometimes like there's a lot of these markets around the cities, like everywhere I travel, but I have no idea like what time and when. Like, unless I ask locally, like I will never know. Usually even Google doesn't know, but if you have a name on the street, then it makes it easy. So that's actually genius.
Very good. There's a few great questions here. What Malaysian foods did you enjoy when you lived in Malaysia? I'm going to let David take this one, and then I'll go next.
Okay, well, we are 36 minutes into the stream. I think the stream is just ending because I'm going to take over for the end, speaking about Malaysian food. No, I mean, I made a video about it, and I just genuinely think Malaysian food is the best. There is just so much. I love the fusion of different cuisines. You got the Indian, you got the Chinese, you got the Malaysian, and just so many different things. I mean, nasi lemak is absolutely spectacular. A lot of the Indian, all the rotis. Yeah, I mean, there's just I honestly haven't had food that wouldn't taste well in Malaysia. And I have a friend, and she always takes me to some food places and restaurants. Every time I come to Malaysia, I let her know, and we just do a food tour around KL. In the evening, I feel overfull, but it's so worth it. I love the smoothies, as Jack can tell. When we were together, every single day I would go get a mango smoothie. I love that, like, you can get the fruits. It's very affordable. It's fresh. Like, it's fruits. It's healthy. Just so many good things. Durian. Okay, that's one thing that for me it's too much going on. So it's too strong. I mean, I will eat it, but it's just too much. So not the biggest fan of durian. That's the only
Warren,
thing.
you can have my durian. I've tried it a few times. I'm not a fan. Just the texture for me, it's not sweet. It's just I just don't like it. But some people love it. So again, it's up to you. As for my food, I love all of it. To be honest, it's dangerous. I try and cook as much as I can at home with groceries, but the local Malaysian food, the kopi, the kaya toast, the laksa is probably my favorite. Curry noodles, it's different for each region, but I just can't say no. I just can't say no. It was Chinese New Year a month or two ago, and I was just smashing those noodles. I just couldn't say no. Like I just could just keep eating more and more and more. I love it. I love spicy, so pretty much all the Malaysian food. Before I moved here, just fun fact, in 2021, I sort of did some research into Malaysian food, and I came across char kway teow at the Chatswood night market, and I would just smash the char kway teow. So that was my go-to noodles. I also like bak kut teh. I took David for authentic bak kut teh when we were in KL. I don't know if you remember that one, but it was like the soup, the dark soup with the pork. And then recently when I was in Kuching, last week, we had a halal bak kut teh. So it was like kolo mee with the bak kut teh soup. Very, very interesting. So I love that as well. So the food is certainly excellent. And I'll just point out that you can get everything here. So it's not just about particularly Malaysian food, but anything you want to get, you can get it here. So, the choice is yours. Aziz has an excellent question. Thanks for asking it. For someone who's never been to Australia or Czech Republic, how does standard of living compare? Infrastructure, condos, roads? I'll handle Australia first. And I also want to clarify to everyone on the live stream, I love Australia. I'm Australian. I'll never be Malaysian. I don't want to be Malaysian. I love Australia, but you know your own country and you want to improve it for a reason. So that's why we say these things, and it's all to help people live a better life. And just because you can love Australia and live somewhere else too, you go where you're treated best. And for me, the last few years, that's been Malaysia. So the standard of living for me, I'm very economics focused. That's my background. I think it highly depends on purchasing power and your ability to fund yourself. Like, look, I'd rather be middle class in Malaysia than poor in Sydney. You're just not going to have a good time. You're not going to be living near the city or the beaches. You're not going to be getting any of the good things out of Sydney. You're just going to be surviving. Whereas in Malaysia, you are going to get a lot of the good things, even if you're not that well off, to be honest. So I think that standard of living is very dependent. Objectively, in terms of development, Australia is more developed. That's a fact. That's not controversial to say that. And the wages are higher. So look, the average person, your standard of living is going to be higher, but you're also going to be paying higher taxes. You're going to have higher costs. So you need to do the maths on that. It's not a one size fits all. Infrastructure, different cities in Australia are very different. I would say so. The MRT in Malaysia, which I always go on about, KL had that years before Australia had it. So KL was ahead in terms of the MRT, and it cost 10% of the price. So in a way, I think infrastructure in Malaysia is ahead. But in general, again, of course, you have to give it to Australia. It is just a more developed country. The biggest difference is the condos. So Australia doesn't really have condos. I don't know what it's like in Czech, but it's apartments. It's strata living apartments. Most places do not have facilities. It's a totally different concept. I haven't really been anywhere that has similar condos to Malaysia.
Dubai.
I haven't. Dubai.
Yeah.
But they then account for the prices, and I'm sure the affordability is going to be quite a different story. But again, that depends. I mean, if you've got money, then Dubai is going to be fantastic. So I'm certainly not saying one's better than the other. But I think in terms of property prices, that's the biggest difference you will see in Southeast Asia versus a country like Australia. You just get way more bang for your buck, and that's going to be the biggest factor. And then roads. So yeah, the roads are probably better in Australia, but major cities all around the world. I was talking about this yesterday with the guys. There's traffic everywhere. There's traffic in all these major cities. It's not something unique. Sydney has terrible traffic. It took me 2 hours to get to and from uni every day when I was back in Sydney. So I did not enjoy that at all. I get around a lot easier in KL, and then you've got Grab. Grab is a lot cheaper than Uber, more affordable than Uber. So there's a lot I can say about this, but I'll let David answer for Czech.
Yeah, those are good points. Yeah, every country has a different living kind of system. Yeah, also in Sao Paulo, they had the condos, which were really nice. But yeah, how we have it in the Czech Republic, we just have apartments or houses. That's pretty much it. Like, you don't really have a gym in the complex. First time I saw it, I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, we have very good transport, buses, trains, and all of that. Like, I think it's excellent in Europe. So that is better than anywhere in the world, I would say. But yeah, in Malaysia was very good. Australia as well.
How about cycling? Do they cycle a lot in Czech? Because I love that about Europe. That looks awesome to me.
Yeah, you're not gonna see that in the KL match or in Malaysia.
No, absolutely not. You fall off.
Yeah, a little bit in the summer. I would say it's the most is like Western Europe, in Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, Switzerland. They really cycle a lot. We cycle quite a bit as well. But yeah, I know like in Malaysia, I haven't seen anyone on it. They have the motorbikes there. We don't really have motorbikes on the other hand. But yeah, the cost of living in the Czech Republic is getting higher and higher. It's getting tougher and tougher for people to afford it. But the safety, the facilities, everything is good. But prices have really been growing. Mm-hmm. I still remember like before COVID and now, like when I go to the supermarket, the difference is insane in the prices. Of course, like the wages are higher, but the prices have increased a lot. But I mean, I say Czech Republic is a great place to visit, great place to live, and I'll definitely have it as one of my bases. It's not really well known, which I guess is a good thing. We also don't really like foreigners. We're pretty mean to foreigners. I mean, myself, go ahead.
Well, I'm saying a lot of these problems and things you're seeing, and you see it from your lens in your country, but when you travel the world, a lot of these countries are having this very similar problems. Like Australia is the same. I mean, like there's a similar themes playing out everywhere. Our costs are going up everywhere. Like, immigration, lots of things are happening all around the world. So I don't think, if you just think it's unique to your country, it's not the case. There's a lot of things that are human problems and human issues that we need to look at from a global perspective.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty similar, especially in the West, like getting more expensive and there's a bunch of problems. But I agree with you, like I can complain sometimes about the Czech Republic, but big picture is that I I think it's an amazing country. Yes, we don't have the sea. Yes, we don't have good weather. There's a lot of things we don't have, but there's also a lot of things we do have, especially safety and like healthcare and all of that, culture and all of that. But yeah, I mean, always depends on the country and what you want. Again, like if I want good weather, probably Chile probably wouldn't be the place to be. Maybe in the summer, but other than that, no. But overall, it really does it for me.
Yeah, and Ahmed's asked another question. He gets bumped to the front of the queue. Which laksa do you like? I like the traditional, the curry noodle, the spicy, the spicy laksa. I don't like Penang laksa. I don't like Assam laksa. I want it to be spicy. But the Sarawak laksa is also very special. It's not so spicy, but there's something about it that it looks like a completely different dish. So I love the Sarawak laksa, and you might have seen, guys, in the vlog, I tried the Sarawak laksa pizza.
Wow.
Sarawak laksa on a pizza. In my opinion, so this is hot take, but that is the best pizza in the world. I haven't had a better pizza. Italy, eat your heart out. Sarawak laksa pizza, best in the world. Absolutely love it.
I'll try it.
It's very, very good.
Put it in my bucket list.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, what else we got here? Brickfield Indian food. Yeah, so why Malaysia is good for food is not just, I mean, what is Malaysian food? You got the Malay food, you got the Chinese food, you got the Indian food, you got Thai food, you got all the Asian food, plus you got all the Western food. You got the best of everything. Aziz asked a good question here. Based on specific regions in KL or others, any specific location you think is best for long-term living for foreigners? PJ, DPC, KLCC area. It's a good question, and people ask me this all the time. And my answer is it depends. Like, I'd have to really understand your individual needs and wants. For me, I've always lived around KLCC because I needed to go to the office, which was at TRX, and again, MRT line. I don't want to be commuting all day. So I recommend minimize your commute time for where you need to go. If you're in a position where you work, you're a digital nomad, you work for yourself, you don't need to be anywhere, maybe you just need some cafes, then a self-contained suburban community area like Desert Park City or Mont Kiara could be good. I don't like Mont Kiara because I have to travel there and the traffic's shit, to be frank. But if you live there, it might be great because you don't need to leave and go to the city all the time, right? So somewhere where you have everything is great. Desert Park City is the dog area for anyone who doesn't know. So if you like dogs, DPC is the place to be in Kuala Lumpur. But most people I speak to, clients or subscribers or whatever, they like KLCC. They do. They come to KLCC. They stay near the park. It is more expensive, but if that's in their budget range, they love it. They don't really see a reason to base anywhere else. And then PJ Petaling Jaya is sort of the suburbs out west where a lot of the locals in metropolitan KL, which is 8 million people, live in PJ, and that's for a reason. And then I'm going to be leaving Malaysia for a bit, but when I come back, I'm not going to have a condo here anymore, so I'm going to be trying different areas, and PJ will definitely be one of those because, guys, I've been in the city for years. I don't need to be here anymore, so why not try somewhere a bit cheaper, a bit more local, give it a go. And then there's a comment here about Argentina. So, David, you can take that one. He always thinks about Buenos Aires, so tell us where you are and what the differences are.
Yeah, it's going to Buenos Aires actually in 2 days. Actually, tomorrow. I'm in Cordoba. It's the second biggest city in Argentina. Yeah, completely different culture from like what I've seen. Yeah, very different from Europe, very different from Asia. But I like it. If you speak Spanish, your experience is going to be good. Yeah, I mean, if you can come to Latin America, the best thing about Latin people is the energy. That's one thing that I wish the whole world had. I think if the whole world had such an energy, we wouldn't be fighting wars. People would be so nice to each other. Maybe if there was a football match, it would get crazy. If there would be fans from both sides cheering against each other. But no, I really love the culture. People here are outside a lot, just living, enjoying, and yeah, not really focusing on work, which I really like.
Awesome. Question here: why did I quit my job? Well, you can watch my video. It's called "Why I Quit My Job in Malaysia." So that will answer the question. But to put it simply, and I've had a lot more time to think about it since then, and to be quite frank, a few reasons. So the YouTube channel was doing better and better, and I always wanted to do it full time. So that was always at the back of my mind. And then things changed at work, moved departments, and I just didn't like the new role so much. So that was another point of friction. And then my ex-girlfriend and I broke up, and we worked at the same company. I don't think I've spoken about that in the video, but that was another big reason. So those three things together come together, and there's things in life. Now's the time. Now's the time. There's no point fighting it. The universe is telling me now's the time to give YouTube and travel and all the things I wanted to do. And then I got a good payout from work. To be frank, I got a good deal, so it's a no-brainer not to take it. So I ended that job on the 1st of July, and then I was still contracted until the beginning of September. But I didn't have to do any work, so it was amazing, and that's the reason why I quit. So it's been 9 months technically since I left, and going good so far. So you sacrifice money, but you gain a lot of experiences, and I wouldn't have been able to work on this digital nomad tribe with David and meet all these awesome people. So it's created a lot of awesome opportunities, and I wouldn't have changed it for anything.
It's been 9 months, crazy. But
I can't believe how fast the time goes. And it was interesting. I got like some hate comments on that video, or maybe I shouldn't call it hate, but there are people questioning and concerned, and they go, "You'll be back," and they didn't realize I posted the video late, and it's already been 9 months. And I'm doing fine. So thanks for the concern, but I'm all good, guys. So I've got more time to give to the channel and helping people, which is more rewarding for me than a corporate job. For now, I might go back, but for now, it's going good.
I have a question on this. Like, if you would reflect real quick, like, how do you see those 9 months, like, with their outputs, with their enjoyment? I mean, you got to do so many cool, different, diverse things. How do you reflect? Like, was it a good decision? I'm guessing it was. And like, why? What did it allow you to do that you couldn't do when you were in your job?
So many things. So in the video, I talk about serendipity. So just creating the opportunity for chances to happen. So I met Nigel, the lawyer I went with. If I hadn't went to dinner with him, none of this would have happened. I wouldn't have been to Kuching. I wouldn't have had all these experiences. I wouldn't have met people through him. We may not have started the tribe in the same way, or certainly not the same capacity. To answer the question, I don't regret it at all. I think in a way I should have done it sooner. I mean, you can't look back and say you would have done things differently, but there's every reason I could have done it sooner. There's also reasons why people would say you should stay. There's always going to be a reason why you shouldn't do it. But then there's that saying I was talking about yesterday with the guys at the meetup. It's like, people say, what's the cost and the risk of you making this change? But then also people forget to look at what's the cost and the risk of things staying the same. What's your life going to look like in 10, 15 years time if you don't change anything? That's also very scary. And that's what Roman was talking about. You'll see in the interview I did with him. He was working a construction job in Australia, and he's like, I'm 40 years old. If I just keep working a construction job, I'm going to be 50 years old and working a construction job, and I'm going to have a bad back, and I'm never going to have tried. So he moved to Malaysia, and he's having a great time. So, and I was thinking about it a lot. I got a lot of alone time when I was in Vietnam, busy schedule, but still alone time. And I was like, how good is this? Like, I'm on a mountain at sunrise, and it's, excuse my language, guys, but it's fucking beautiful. Oh, this is so good. I mean, this is better than the office. You couldn't do this if you had to go to the office. So, I mean, moments like that, you just go, boom, no brainer. And even if I have to go back to work or whatever, 100%, it was worth it. So 0 regrets.
Good answer. Yeah, I'll just mention, you mentioned the meetup. Yeah, for those of you that have just joined, we're running the Digital Nomad Tribe. So some of the people here are also there. Yeah, if you're a digital nomad traveler and you want to live this lifestyle in a healthy, intentional way, then definitely, check out the link. Jake, can you maybe copy paste the link there again? Yeah, we're looking for some more like-minded people there, and it's been really nice to have the community. So yeah, just a quick note on that. What else do we have there, or should we talk about our future plans?
Oh, we got Justin here, the dissident nomad. Justin's arrived. Hey, Justin. So Justin was at the meetup yesterday, and we got stuck in the rain. So it was quite funny because I always go on about how good the weather is here, and then during the meetup, the biggest storm I'd seen in a long time. So we got stuck in the cafe. It was absolutely pouring outside, and then Justin was very kind. He helped with his little umbrella. We both huddled under the umbrella, and I still got soaked. We got soaked, but it helped a little bit. So Justin, I'm glad your trainers are dry. That's good. That's a good one. We've got someone here from New York City. That's awesome. That's awesome. Nice. I've got to visit the Big Apple and the US. I'd love to do that trip as well. City. Yeah. Good afternoon, Kai. And a question here from Marcus. What type of digital work do you guys do? So for me, it's the YouTube channel and the back-end referral and consulting business from that, but mostly the YouTube channel. And then David and I are also working on the Digital Nomad Tribe, which I've dropped a link in. It's a community for high-level digital nomads to connect. So we're building it. We're just starting to monetize it. David, if you want to talk about a little bit more on what you do.
Yeah, the tribe has been amazing. So I've been in Nomad for a while, working with Nomads for a while, and then we had this idea that we could combine with Jack and do this together. So yeah, we have been working on it for the last few months. It's been going really well. As I said earlier, yeah, it's for digital nomads, travelers that want to do this in a healthy way, that want to have that community of people doing it together, helping each other, and yeah, just being part of the community. Because interesting thing about the digital nomad life is that a lot of digital nomads report that they feel lonely, even though you meet dozens of people every week. Like, people say that they feel lonely because they don't have that strong community that they can be part of. And so we have that online community, which is not a full solution. Like, it's still online. You don't have that in-person touch, but now we do. We're planning meetups, we're planning retreats. So we want to combine that online element with the offline, because it's just amazing to sit down and to have food or grab a beer together. So yeah, if that's something that resonates with anyone, definitely would love to have you there. And yeah, so that's the biggest thing for me now. This working with nomads, and also my background is tennis. I've been playing tennis my whole life, so I'm still involved in tennis every now and then. So enjoying that.
Awesome. Kai's come with some tough questions. So it's a live stream. I'm not going to shy away from the tough questions. What do you think of no toll charges oil ship from Malaysia past Iranian territory? So we're trying to avoid politics, but I think we can all agree we want it to open back up. We want our oil to come through. We want the flight prices to go down. So I think if Malaysia is going to get a pass to get ships through, good. I mean, the more ships we can get through, the better. But my comment does not go beyond that. I just hope it gets resolved and safely for everyone. War is bad. That's my opinion. Ahmed, take risks now young before you have major responsibility in life. Exactly. That's 100% what I'm doing. It's what David's doing. We know what we're doing, guys. That's why we make a good point in the digital nomad tribe to make it sustainable. There's a digital nomad carries this term of like people being reckless and just traveling, and are they really working or earning money? Yeah, we get it. And to be frank, that's probably 80% of people. But the 20%, like David and I and the people we've been able to find, that's why it's difficult to grow the community, because we're looking for curated guys with the same mindset. So if you come in, you're not going to get people mucking around. Like, we're doing serious good stuff and helping each other out do it sustainably. But at the same time, in terms of responsibilities, like, we've got older people, we've got older guys in there, we've got some married couples in there. Very interesting to learn from people older than us. My personal goal is to have a family in the next few years, and we'll see if that's compatible with traveling or if I settle down somewhere. But either way, I rationalize I need to do these experiences now before I certainly settle down and have a kid. So yeah, that's definitely the mindset there. And then Kai's next question here. I'm going to answer every question. What do you think of price control in the health insurance industry is set to be tightened as Bank Negara Malaysia enforces all insurance claim must be approved, RMIT? Love the question. I'm not going to pretend I've read the news or the paper and understand the details of the policy, but my experience with health insurance has been fantastic. I haven't had any issues with that. I do think if it's I assume it's talking about a standardized practice where the companies are going to have to pay out or have standard rates for everything, and it makes it more transparent. So I think that's a good thing. I don't see any reason why that would be a bad thing. Maybe it drives premiums up a little bit, but the more it can be standardized and reliable is a good thing, because the Malaysian health system is fantastic, and the more people who can have access to private health insurance, the better. That's my opinion. Okay. Yes, Warren. Sounds like what the AT was doing, minus the scams, womanizing, and Bugattis. Yeah, there's no scams, there's no womanizing, but we do talk about dating, because dating is an important topic. As a digital nomad, I don't see that it's a very important part of life, and I think we should talk about it more. I don't think it should carry a stigma, but yes, we're not strategizing, womanizing, or passport bro culture. We're not doing that. And Bugattis. No one has a Bugatti that I'm aware of in the tribe. So maybe one day we will, but no Bugattis. Fraternity of like-minded world-traveling philosophers of tomorrow. That's it. That's what we're going with.
Yes, I actually have a dating video coming out in 3 days. I thought it was a little bit spicy. I didn't go all in, but I wanted to say some things that I feel like people haven't really been saying. So if you guys want to watch that, definitely more than welcome, and discuss in the comments, because I think this is an important topic, because like it's going to lead to a relationship, having a family and all of that, which is just, it's probably the most important decision you ever make. Like, who is your partner going to be? I feel like a lot of people don't really think about it enough. Like a lot of people think about which car they buy. Speaking of the Bugatti, like they think about it more than about the partner they get, which is insane. And I think you should really like think a lot about this. And dating different, different countries, different cultures can really teach you a lot if you approach it the right way. It can definitely be approached in the wrong way, but I think if approached in the right way, it can be so much value and great experience for both people, and just a win-win-win on all sides.
Well said, well said. And then we've got someone there commenting that they're single. So that's good to know. Good luck.
Oh,
And Kai, oh, thank you, mate. I'm glad I answered your questions. Feel free to ask anything you want. Nasi Lemak from Kai, thank you so much. And if I see your hater on comment, I'll tell them to F off. Yes, we're building the anti-hater tribe.
Army.
The army. Thank you so much. No, I appreciate that a lot, and thank you for asking the difficult questions. And that's what I'm here for, to answer them. And I probably give haters too much attention, but at the same time, it's good to challenge me. And I consider myself, I want to engage with it. I don't want to just, I want to think about it, give a response, and I give people a chance to explain. And a lot of time it does go well, but then a lot of people are just haters and they need to be told to F off because they're just trolling. So anyway, thank you very much for the Nasi Lemak.
Yeah, I'll respond to Quar Schnacks about dating. Yeah, so the most important thing, not just for dating, but in general, is to know about the culture where you're going, to know the customs, at least do a basic research. I was also talking about that. I have a nice AI prompt that has like 20 different things, from culture to language, currency, and all of that. So I always put it into ChatGPT, and then it gives me a good answer and good idea about the country. Then I also download a few videos, and like I need 30 minutes, an hour, and I feel like I know a lot about the country before I even go. And you mentioned here that like if you go on a date with someone, the whole community knows. Exactly, that's part of some cultures. Like in Central Asia, it's a lot of people live in smaller cities, smaller communities. If someone does something, everyone knows immediately, and it just like happens that have these close relationships. Versus if you're in New York City, like if you go on a date with someone, no one is really going to know unless you tell people. So it's very important to be aware of this, like what culture you're going to, and like in terms of dating, like where you're dating, because dating in Central Asia versus in South America, in Europe, in the US, in Asia, it's completely different. And same with the culture. So just here, I think it really comes to be aware, an intentional traveler, because if you just go to a place, and I see a lot of Americans do that in particular, not everyone, but a lot of people do that, they think it's going to be like in their own country, but it's not. It's going to be a different place, and you're the visitor. You need to be the one that's going to, respect, and that's going to maybe adjust their behavior. Like you cannot act like you're at home. You need to be respectful of the culture. So I think this is a very, very important point. Good point there.
Yeah, very interesting about Cambodia. And I'll just tell you guys a quick dating story I had. The only time I've been scammed online or had an issue was in Shanghai, China. So I'm going to be posting a China series when I get around to it. But it's an interesting story. So stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, it's a good story.
We won't go more into that one into now. Prospection numeric. Can you recommend a health insurance that can also be valid a few months in our own country? So I recently did a video with Safety Wing, and yes, it was a sponsored video, but I vet all my sponsorships, and I worked with them for that reason, that I actually think it's a good product. So I would check out Safety Wing if that works for you. So basically it works around the world, including your home country. So I think that could be a good option. But otherwise, it depends. If you're going to be in, you haven't said where you're going to go or whatever. So either you get a local insurance, either you get a higher, more premium insurance. You can speak to a broker that can get you something to cover you and your family or whatever you need around the world. But from a basic level, I would recommend Nomad Insurance Complete from Safety Wing. In Malaysia, I used Allianz and AIA. So those were the two I would recommend for Asia, and those are both global companies. Allianz is German and AIA is Hong Kong. I think. So both of those are global companies. So I'm sure they'd have options. That would be my non-professional recommendation. Warren says, hung out with a girl, basically gave me therapy and held me as I cried. Surprisingly, she's a good friend now. Well, like, there you go. So dating doesn't have to be just sexual. It doesn't have to be dates. It can be an actual genuine, emotional connection, even if you only see them one time. There's lots of things that can happen with that. And I know David's got some stories on that. So what sort of, have you had those experiences, David, when you're traveling, that you've really connected or learned about the culture and opened up emotionally to a woman you've met while you're traveling?
Yes, and like those are some of my most just favorite experiences about traveling. And it's just amazing when you meet someone and you just connect, like, beyond, I don't know, like, words. It's hard to explain that, but it has happened to me a few times. Just like, and that's one thing that I really like about traveling, because you skip the small talk and you go straight to talk about, the deep stuff, and you go straight to talk about life. A lot of travelers are really open people, which is nice because you skip a lot of the small talk, and then you get to the interesting things. And it can happen with dating as well. And yeah, I encourage people, like, if people are single and they're traveling, I encourage them to do date. Of course, do it respectfully, mindfully, and like, don't cause any bad things to anyone. But if you do it in this way, it can be just a really good experience. So yeah, some amazing stories. I've told Jack a bunch of them, and yeah, it's just amazing things.
Yeah.
What is the best location, Kale, for Nomad to live with access to good restaurants, shopping centers, gyms, railway network? Jack, what would you say?
Yeah, good question. KLCC. Yeah, KLCC or around that side near the TRX development. It's also going to depend on budget. I think, honestly, go on Google Maps, look at the yellow MRT line, which runs from south to north, and the green MRT line, which runs from east to west. If you live on either of those two MRT lines, I would say that's a good spot. So at each of the stops, you've got a mall nearby. Like, look at an MRT spot. They've designed it. It's built around a mall, other infrastructure. So pretty much all of those areas are no-brainer. I live one stop from the TRX interchange, which is the interchange of those green and yellow lines. So in my opinion, that's the best spot. But there are other great spots, as we spoke about before, like Desert Park City, Mont Chiara. If you're going to stay in those areas and you don't want to travel around too much, they have everything within walking distance right there. So that might be an option for you as well. Somewhere like Bangsar South could be another great one as well. That's also connected on the LRT line. It could be a bit cheaper. I'm going to check that out next time as well. But yeah, there's a lot of places I could recommend in KL. So, but maybe you can message me after, and I'll see if I can help you in more detail. And Kai did a good comment here. He saw a hater write an essay with damn points, like he's doing a presentation on the video regarding petrol. Like, go make your own video. Exactly. So I would encourage you, if you have a really strong opinion, or you want to just knock someone down, a creator down, make your own video. Make your own video. Like, you're entitled to your opinion. We like hearing you. Like, make your own video. We want to see your opinion. And it's not saying we're right and you're wrong, but if you genuinely have something to say, I'll watch your video and I like that point. I like that point. If you're going to write an essay, you can make your own video, and then people who agree with you or people who see your point can engage with you as well. So that's a good way to look at it. Warren, unfortunately, I learned the hard way. The women from Africa who okay, look, it's not a stereotype. It's 100% true, or 99% true. 1% not true. But yes, every woman from Africa I've matched with on an app in Malaysia has been working. Put it that way. I think you guys know what we're saying there. Aziz, the whole connection of MRT, LRT, monorail plus KTM is awesome in Malaysia. Yep. So I think public transport is great. I don't agree with people who say it's not good or not up to scratch. I think it's actually very, very excellent. There will be cases where if you're not near one of those lines, you might have a tough time connecting. But if you are new to the city and you have a choice, then you can sort of make those decisions. So it's pretty good. Everything is connected. You just need to figure out the best way to move around. Exactly. So once you figure it out, you're sweet. It might be difficult at first. It's hard for me to remember back, but I genuinely never really had a problem with transport in Malaysia, except I still make the mistake sometimes I think I'm going to get the train, but I think I'll get a Grab instead, and then I've messed up, and there's a lot of traffic, and I wish I'd got the train. So almost always I default back to the train. Question here about digital nomad. Any digital nomad hub or group in Thailand that you? Oh, sorry, I missed your response for Thailand and Malaysia. There's lots of groups in Thailand. There's a big established digital nomad scene in Thailand. David might have more specific groups or connections for you. In Bangkok, we have some members in the tribe that are in Bangkok and frequent Bangkok, and I'm going to try and go back to Bangkok as well. So, David, do you have any more to add about digital nomad groups in Thailand?
Yeah, like you're asking about one place, or in Thailand, you're already in Bangkok, so you are in one of the hotspots. And then in the north, Chiang Mai, I know that's a very popular place there. So yeah, I would say Bangkok and Chiang Mai, but there's a lot of nomads in both of these. Very affordable, a lot of good things. I know now it's really hot there, or it's going to be really hot there. But yeah, I would say those two. If you have more questions, you can message me or Jack later.
Yeah, and Chiang Mai is definitely one I want to check out. So recently when I did a trip, I was either going to go to Chiang Mai or Dalat in Vietnam. I went to Dalat, which I actually think is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to do a video about it. But otherwise, if it wasn't burning season, I would have gone to Chiang Mai. And then just to be, we're going to wrap up the stream in a few minutes. I've got to go to my yoga class in about 20 minutes. So I'm just watching the time and my clock. But this is great. I'm having a great time. This is really interesting. And I think we could keep going for a long time. I just want to make sure we answer what we've got left. Warren says, Grab is your best friend. Quick jump to the station a bit far. Yeah. So plan ahead. Sometimes it can be difficult to get a Grab depending on where you are, but most of the time it's easy and it's affordable. So that's the way to go. Ahmed, are there expat community meetups in Malaysia? Yes, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of expat groups. I can help you connect with those. Yeah, get in contact. I'll send you some WhatsApp groups and some other, there's expats. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, you've got all these big groups, but if you want to connect with people like us, join the tribe, and we will sort something out, because we're going to have retreats and more stuff like that in Malaysia and Sarawak as well. Can I pay for a consultation? Depends what the consultation's about, but yes, send me an email. The link's in all my things, and if it's about like life in KL and culture and like basically my experience in Malaysia, I can send you the booking link for the call. If it's about visas or business setup, then I can set you up with the lawyer I work with. But if you want to speak to me, we can organize that. Just send me an email. I'll put it in the chat, or you can DM me on Instagram, whatever's easier for you.
What's good, lads? From Christian. Life is good. Everything is good. Nice. 12 years in KL. It's amazing. Good choice.
Hey, if it's a digital nomad question, I would suggest joining the tribe. The price is cheaper. You get a month of membership for $20 right now. David and I are in there. We've got all the other guys in there, so you can come in, ask any question you want. David and I will hop on a call with you. Just either of those options, we'll sort it out and get in touch and help you out as much as possible.
We also got the free trial for the first week for now for the beta members. So still, like, you can just check it out, and there's no risk at the beginning. We're gonna remove that soon, but there's really no.
That's the best way. Yeah, join on a trial, come in. If you like it, you can stay. But yeah, we'll help you out as much as we can. And Christian Elias, we go to the same gym. I don't think I've seen you. Oh, I remember. Yeah, I think you're at Peak, right? So yeah, I remember you from Instagram. So thanks for joining, guys. I'm gonna wrap up the stream.
Good time for the guys. He's a busy man, so we gotta wrap it up here.
I've got to go to yoga. We'll go 2 more minutes. If there's any last questions, drop them now. I'll answer them. But
spicy or any big questions?
There wasn't really much spicy. Kai came with some interesting questions, but not much spicy. Peak Fitness, yep, awesome. Good guys there. No worries at all. Thanks for the donations. I really appreciate that, and it's a good motivation to do more live streams. So if you guys like this, David and I can do this again. We can do it monthly. We can do it more often. I think it's hang on, my yoga car has arrived. I'll be back in a second. Just give me 30 seconds.
I'll take it over. I wonder who's going in. Yeah, thank you guys. Don't know if everyone is here from Jack's audience. we can hear what Jack is saying. But yeah, it's really nice to talk to all of you. It's fun. And Jack is here, so I didn't even have to talk for that long. Who was that?
Yes, the condos, the security calls you when you've got a visitor driving in, and you say, "Yes, I have a visitor," and they let them in. So it's very secure. Okay, let me just smash out these questions. Do you return to your origin country a few times a year? Yes, I go back to Australia a few times a year. I'm going back in next month. My next trip is to Hong Kong with my dad, and then I'm flying back to Sydney. I'll be there a month, renew the passport, then I'll be back to Malaysia, and then yeah, David, similar. And David does have a YouTube channel. Yes. Yeah, drop the link to your channel in the chat.
Okay, I'll find it.
He recently did an awesome video about Malaysia, so you're gonna love that one. But yeah, it's just David Solar. Was it Digital Nomad?
Digital Nomad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I should have the link ready. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your? I know mine off the back of my hand.
Yeah. Oh, I cannot comment. Actually, I can comment here. Okay, just sent it.
Yeah, that's it. Awesome. And I'll update because this video is going to be, will be recorded. It should go on my YouTube channel so you can watch the replay. I'll be able to edit the description after, so I'll link David's channel in the description. Awesome. Okay. All right. I'm going to end the stream now. Thanks, David, for coming on. We've got 27 viewers now. Thanks, everyone. So I'm going to wrap it up. We were live for an hour. If you want to watch the replay again, it's going to go on my channel. Watch the replay. Thanks for subscribing to David. That's awesome. We're definitely going to do this again because I had a great time. I think David did too. We'll come up with more of a specific agenda next time, but we could chat for hours. Thanks for the questions. And then hopefully when you watch more of David's videos and I sort of go a bit more Nomad angle, we can talk more about travel, and maybe I can do a live stream in a few weeks' time when I'm in Hong Kong, and we can do some comparisons there.
With our dad?
Yeah. Oh, we'll get Dad on the live stream. Who wants to see my dad on the live stream? I think that would be really interesting. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jack. It was fun, and yeah, would love to do it again. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Good questions, good inputs, and now it's yoga time for me. It's a morning walk and breakfast time, so different time zones, different activities. Yeah, cheers, Jack.
All right, see you guys.
Adios. Ciao.
I gotta see how to end the stream. Yeah. Okay. End stream.